All right, we are at July 17th, 2025, Village Council regular meeting, and it is 7:26 p.m., and we will start with roll call. Okay. Councilperson Pinter.
Here.
Councilperson Martin.
Here.
Councilperson Koss.
Present.
Councilperson Grant.
Here.
And Council President Cameron.
Here.
And do we have a motion to excuse Councilperson Passion for the July 17th meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and now we move to pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, next, do we have a motion to approve the June 26, 2025 committee as a whole minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Next, do we have a motion to approve the June 26, 2025 council meeting minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right, do we have a motion to approve the July 10th, 2025 special council meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? And finally, do we have a motion to approve the July 10th, 2025 work session minutes?
Motion to approve. Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions?
I really like this program captures our minute, our meetings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's, they're great.
I'm excited.
I have a random question, and this is so not in the place to do this, but
Great.
So
planning and zoning meeting minutes that we approved, or all of those, we did it as a one lump sum instead of doing each one individually. And we were just curious whether or not, that's not for now, but I'm never gonna remember, so.
I mean, as long as the content was approved.
The content was approved,
I think
but
I'd love it if they were
individually.
meet it out, but
Yeah.
as long as they're all approved, but
Okay, nope, we're
Yeah.
good. Okay, village official reports. We will start with Chief Matt Dowd for police.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only addition I would add to my submitted report is that the two new speed radar signs that we had installed on Maplewood and Minerva Lake Road on the west end of town had some battery issues. They were under warranty. Those took some time to get replaced, but perhaps you've noticed they're up and running again, so we're going to leave those in place for a while. Other than that, I don't have anything to add.
All right, does anybody have any questions? All right, next we will move to our fiscal officer is excused. He was here last week, did our budget, did all that stuff, met with a couple council people as well last week. So we will get some of that when we get to the committee reports. Next, we have our engineers report. I will go through this kind of quickly, but again, this is in the packet. The maintenance building, they're addressing the final few outstanding building department review comments, which should allow us to get the building permit. We intend to submit revised documents no later than July 21st. They continue to coordinate with the contractor regarding submittals, utility coordination, and early site work. And work should be able to start in the final weeks of July or the first week of August. As of right now, we are working on getting this in a phased plan as far as permits go, so we can get this ball rolling. So there's been a lot of conversation back and forth, but I agree. I think we should have all of this stuff in the first set of building permits in the next week. So we're really getting there. The 2025 road improvement project, the agreement has been executed, the notice of award has been executed, and the notice of commencement has been executed. We continue to coordinate with the contractor regarding the start date based on their current workload. We have been coordinating regarding a pre-construction meeting. I do not have a date for that yet, but I assume it will probably be next week. Village staff has forwarded some resident comments, questions, and concerns. which they will be discussing with the contractor during the pre-construction meeting. So, we've just had people asking about if they're gonna be able to get in and out of their driveways, if they're gonna be able to do this or that. So, we are working with Mike to express our concerns with the contractor.
I see that tree.
And then they have began reviewing the contractor's submittals and answering requests and information, and hopefully we were gonna have a notice to proceed here shortly. So, we're good on that. That is Mike's report. I will let you know that we have also received this week, it's later than usual, but they did finally do the analysis report for the 2024 CCTV program. I've not sent this out to everybody yet, but I absolutely can and will. The sanitary sewer, there were 31 pipe segments, 5,842 linear feet. 55% were graded A, 35% were B, and 10% were graded C. We had no D's or F's. They go through all of these as well, but we are starting to get back to places that we've already done once. So as you can see, our work has definitely been wonderful. Storm sewer, this is the best. 67 segments, 7,205 linear feet. 99% were graded A.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
So it goes on. We are talking about, it's mid-July, but there is still enough time to do a round of cleaning and televising for 2025. So I will be working with Jeff to find out whether or not we do have enough money budgeted, if we want to move forward with some of these this year. This is something we could still get done this year. So we will be in discussions with you guys if we get to do another CCTV this year. But as you guys already know, the one project has already been put on the back burner. So I just feel like if we go do the 2025, we're gonna have more being put on the back burner, and now that 250 is gonna go to even more. At some point, we've gotta get what's broken fixed before we start finding out what.
Yeah.
I understand we wanna be proactive, but with these results, I feel like we're not really hurting ourselves.
Great.
So,
Any updates on East Shore Court and that water line issue that he was looking into?
no.
Okay.
I mean, yes, we've talked to them about it. Yes, they are working on it. No updates.
East Shore Court, are you talking about like the Pearlwood ish?
It's the one that the water line has broken like 4 times. The water line, I believe, is old.
North Lake.
Yeah, it's not East Shore. It's
not East Shore. North Lake Court. It's
North
North
Lake
Lake.
Court.
North Lake.
Okay.
And
Yes.
yeah, that's a
Either way, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Sorry.
One of the residents was in here asking questions about it several months ago, probably a year ago. It does need repaired, it does need it fixed, and I am just still waiting.
I know we said it was gonna be complicated because the plans that they have for those water lines are pretty old.
Yes. Yes.
as is the status quo for.
Yes.
Okay.
So, to answer that, we have discussed it in the last meeting that Jeff, myself, and Mike were in, probably in the last 30 days. It is not dropped, it is still on the horizon, but it's just, so is the maintenance garage, the roadway project, and all of those. There are also, I'm aware of the 2 low spots and issues on Black Sycamore. If you guys recall, Mike had talked to, I believe, the contractor. We're gonna have them go look at the one, so now we're gonna have them go look at both of them. Eric and I had just talked about that yesterday. So once those contractors start, it might just be a change order or something, or it may be a totally separate project once they go over it and assess. But that is who we're gonna have look at that.
Please, I apologize for bringing this up. 4 or 5 foot sidewalks, do we need to talk about that, or?
We already talked about it last week, it's already in the process, so we reached out to Mike, once we have an opportunity to discuss it, in more detail, we'll coordinate and report back.
Can you just CC us on an email, just?
If there's anything to report back to you, we will, otherwise it's gonna be a meeting that we're.
5 is the recommended. 5 is what you guys said.
Everybody wants 5 is what
So-
we're recommending, so we're gonna work towards 5.
And I'll blame myself on some of this because it was 5, and I kind of fought for 4 because of the pricing and because of that's what was in the MI section. And Eric told me why we should do 5, and Mike Flickinger told me why we should do 5 and all of that. So I assumed we were doing 5, and I think we all thought we were doing 5 because I thought I got told as to why we weren't doing 4. So I'm assuming he just kind of went with what I said about 4 because it matched the other one or whatever. I don't know how we ended up back at 4 because I was told every reason is to not do 4.
Okay, yeah, I put on the plans.
It is,
we
yeah.
adjusted, We'll report back,
Yeah.
we'll figure 15,000.
So I will blame myself for 4.
You're the one walking.
I know, but I'm also cheap.
When I get angry, I'm gonna send you an email.
Haven't you seen the stroll?
Angry about
Yes,
sidewalks.
I know. That was one of the reasons that they told me you do 5. And the biggest reason actually was it's because it's the main artery through the village, and that did make the most sense when they said it was the main artery through here. This is the road that everybody travels. So, again, 5 made total sense to me. I thought it really was 5, so I was taken back when Barb and I found out, again, it was 4. So, that's that.
Next. Jesse?
I have no formal report.
No.
Can I take questions?
All good.
Are we bringing up the legislation change now? Later?
Oh, trees.
Yeah.
We're doing
New
business.
business.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, then, Mr. Eric Fisher, Village Planning.
Already talked about the sidewalks, I was gonna report on that. Other thing is just we'll discuss the change to the tree trimming. That'll be it.
And I told them you talked to Columbus, and they're not cutting.
Oh, right, yes, that is correct. So we had a nice conversation up the chain and, found the supervisor who was in agreement that we should be chopping up the road. And so we've been 400 and that's that.
So are they doing anything to it, or are they?
Yes, so they still have to, I'm still requiring them to put a new 2-inch line. They're going to simply cap off the other line, not use it anymore, because that's a bigger, it was the old fire service, they're gonna cap that off properly. And then they're gonna attach a whole new water, so they can bore that and put that under the road and not tear the road and tear the old one out. Which is what someone told them, that's what we.
Where is this? Is this?
That's across the
Where else
road.
would it be?
Yeah, they wanted to close Jordan Road, literally like during the 4th of July. And Eric was like, you're not doing it, it's not happening.
Are they gonna fix that fire hydrant? I feel like that's probably.
Here's-
That's a Columbus, it's been reported to them.
I have been
Are you sure
fighting,
that's a Columbus one?
It
It's
is.
out on Cleveland Avenue, it's
Okay.
in the right of way.
whether it's, they are the ones that broke it.
Got it.
I probably have 20 emails to Columbus and phone calls of what is going on, you guys broke it, they broke the stem, they acknowledge that they broke the stem, and now it's
It's in
radio
there,
silent.
it's in the process.
Can you talk to that same supervisor?
Listen, everything out there in that city has its own special division. The hydrants have their own special division.
And it's
So,
probably-
no, I cannot, that's their own
Okay.
deal.
Yes, I'm talking to the people that broke it, and it is,
The only reason we have leeway is because that line is in our jurisdiction completely, and they permitted it to be done a certain way, and we have to permit the right of way, and when they came to me and asked for a permit, I said, no, you're not cutting the road. That's where the holdup was, and that's what forced them to talk to us about it. Otherwise, they would just tell us to go jump in our lake, which is what happens most of the time.
Retention pond.
Remember that? Yeah, that's what retention pond is, you. Remember that one time I called them because there was a dead skunk in the road, if everyone went, it was in Columbus, and they went and they moved the skunk into our territory.
That's some fancy thinking, but I know where I'm taking it, I'll just put it over here.
Yeah, that happened, so.
Maybe we're gonna park buried in the place, right?
Eric,
Remember that? No?
Eric, has there been anything in regards to Westerville City Schools or the entry signway for Farview?
There is not. I will reach back out to them here since you reminded me. I put the ball in their court. They have not reached back out after they said they were going to do an investigation to figure out what's what. I didn't hear back, so I'll try to bug them before the school starts again.
And then, I already asked this, but do you know anything about the lake?
Which
the light item.
the light?
Columbus,
Or like, or.
Phantom.
Lakewood Light.
Oh no! Again, that's in their jurisdiction. That's in their department. They will eventually tell us when they issue the permit, and we will know. That's it.
And all they're doing is putting the 4th.
They're putting the fourth. They're also striping a turn.
Okay.
in there.
Well, that's right, okay,
So
I forgot about
they're
that.
having to
Okay.
do all that. That's that.
Perfect. All right, zoning officer, you guys look and see his report, if you have any questions, I'm sure he's been busy. That's the one I passed around the last time.
Yeah.
All right, planning and zoning, councilperson Green.
Planning and zoning has not met for the month of July, however, they are scheduled to meet in the month of August, the date, the 20th. So we have nothing really further to report at the moment.
Are they gonna talk about signage?
We're going to talk about signage as mixed in with the entire kind of redevelopment tax that we want to do along Cleveland Avenue and where it's appropriate. Start that process so they can recommend something up to you guys to take up with legislation.
Yeah, can somebody bring it to them, or I am happy to do that too, but I would like a permanent fix, but I also would like a temporary fix as well. So it's,
Yeah,
I
so
do
there
want to
is-
slap paint on that.
That's what we're to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
think
just
they-
bring-
they-
Our last meeting, they had no interest in talking about the temporary solution.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that,
They do.
okay,
And basically, if they don't want to do anything, you guys can then take it up here.
okay, fine.
So it's the thing, if you're gonna get a recommendation that includes what you're asking for, they wanna take it as a wholesome,
Right.
like, essentially, with everything that's been discussed at council, and send that to them.
My ask is that we encourage them to move swiftly on this,
Yeah,
and rather than take their time.
and also just say that.
On the redevelopment.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Mostly.
on the redevelopment, if I may, or approach on that, so when we say swiftly, it won't be done in 30 days, I can assure you that. I'm sure, I can tell you that reasonably so, you can expect something in a 2 to 3 weeks, or 2 to
That's
3
fine.
months, that's probably reasonable.
That's fine, I'm getting flashbacks to the code rewrite, and that took a long time.
Well, that's a huge.
I get it.
This is a smaller bite, fortunately.
Sure.
All right. Anybody else for planning and zoning? Okay. MPCA,
Yes,
Council President Cameron.
They actually had a meeting that I was able to attend, so, they discussed a few things, Arts in the Park, they talked about the results of that, they still feel pretty good about that event, but they did talk about how to get some more vendors and increase participation and what that is. Sip and Dip last month, they had 65 paid people, Sip and Dip is this weekend, so if you are interested in, $10 admission and some food and bringing your own beverage that can be alcoholic at the pool, I would encourage you to do that. And it is open for everyone in our community. It is not NPCA only.
Adults though,
Yes, it is only adults, 21 and over.
not just everybody.
Yes. And it's a Mediterranean theme, is what I heard. So
You what?
Mediterranean themed food.
Fancy.
So, and it's hosted by Danny
Well,
Wolf. Yes, perfect.
it is fun, it is a nice,
She
Nice.
usually does a
it is
fantastic
very
job.
nice.
Garden tour, they said they got an average amount of people. They also spoke about some possible changes. They had a meeting this past Sunday. I think, I have not heard the results of that meeting as a whole, so I don't know anything about that. Family Fun Night is scheduled for Saturday, July 26th. I don't remember the start time on that. It is $10 again. It's all inclusive. It gives you admission to the pool. It gives you food, water, and lots of fun and games. They are thinking about changing up the food this year, and they've already gotten their beer permit, and they are going to get non-alcoholic beer this year. That was a recommendation from some people.
Good.
They are up to 178 members.
It's from 5 to 9.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. I could have looked it up too. But.
It's okay.
They did say that the person that was paying for the Mary Yost Garden maintenance may have left a endowment for the village to maintain that. They are not sure yet. Obviously, that has to go through that whole process of her wishes. But they said it might be there. I know we received an email from Minerva Flora today, or Jeff and I did. And so I think we just need to kind of discuss what that future looks like with Minerva Flora in that space. Obviously, we own it, but it was Mary Yost was an integral part of maintaining that, and her wishes were that we continue that. So I think it is the wishes of the village to do that as well, but obviously we need to consider all the expenses that go along with it and how we maintain it. So, Minerva Flora has some classes coming up. How to compost is this Sunday, I believe it's on the 20th. There's a garden tour at Guy Denny's Native Gardens, and then there's a class on seed harvesting and seed harvesting and savings, and that's on September 27th. And that's all I have for MPCA.
Awesome. All right. Any questions? Up to this point? All right, next next we will move to finance, Councilperson Pinter.
So two things going on. We had a finance committee meeting on July 2nd. We sat, Tommy and I, and it was a public meeting. The transcript is out online. It was really good. We talked about many things. One thing that stood out was the Minerva Lake Road project and just kind of how that gets budgeted out and fun jazz. So that was really good. Jeff did a great job at answering all our questions. Feel free to reach out for any comments or questions on that. The second thing is we did get our monthly packet, or monthly report from Jeff. In that report, just high level revenue, RETA tax, we're right at that. 6 months in, we should be at 50%, we're at 51. So stuff like that, really good. Membership, the pool membership's almost right at budget at $60,000 this year, which is good. Daily admissions is, I guess, halfway through the pool season is a little bit low, but that's probably explainable by the first 3 weeks of the summer being pretty cold and stuff. So hopefully that gets back up. We're right on track with that, and that's all from a high level perspective.
Awesome. Sandy, any questions? All right, we've already talked about safety. I don't think we need to talk about it again. So, and Councilperson Passion's on here. Is there anything anybody wants to say?
Maybe just give a quick recap since this is the actual council
He
meeting.
just did it.
Okay.
I mean, he did it in his report. We talked about street signs.
Yep.
I mean, but we're not in any position to move forward on additional flashing street signs yet.
We're thinking about it.
Yeah, just
Maybe.
looking to see how we can communicate with residents in a different light that is not as far as going door to door, but kind of something still in your face. Like at some point, we're trying to get other options. Okay. Next we have Councilperson Grant, legislation.
Yeah, legislation tonight is the second reading to amend and revise the Minerva Park fee schedule and declare an emergency. But that's all we have, really.
Okay. That works for me. All right, next is my report. Here's just a couple little things. The singing tree has been removed. We're working with the contractor to make sure that the rest of the tree is healthy and can actually stay. Some of us actually want them to chop it completely down. So we're just working with them to find out if we're just gonna, or if it's good enough to stay. So, yeah, so we're working on that. The acoustic panels will be installed somewhere around August 17th through the 22nd. And what that is for is this room. Obviously it echoes. We know that it's very difficult to hear certain people that are much quieter than me online. So we're working on a way to try to get the sound a little bit better. So hopefully that will help. If it does not, then we will look at even more alternatives. So the survey that council has been working on, the invoice has been received and the project is still moving forward. And as of right now, that is for the resident survey that's going to go out to everybody and the employee survey. So we are moving forward on all of that. And I think I'm good. So, yes. So next.
I'm the only one who checked the box, so.
Hang on, I gotta make sure that there's no one else here. Imagine people, there might be people coming in soon.
Can we address this before?
JK. All right, Mr. Benedetti.
Are we gonna address this?
Tommy Benedetti, 2937 Bear Lake Court. I really want to start off with something nice. I hope you give me a minute at the end to say something else nice. You know, so we'll see. I'm gonna start off by saying I was so pleasingly surprised this week to see the post on the Facebook page that explained the sidewalk project. You went down and explained, communicated with the residents through the Facebook page, the best way to get through to people what's going on with the sidewalk project. And for me, that's how I figured out what's going on with that. So whoever's idea that was, I thought so, that's why I looked over there. That is the way it should be done, is what's done with the Facebook page. Now, unfortunately, communication, it still sucks. And tonight is a great example of that. In that the purpose of this meeting is to communicate with the residents, each one of the departments, to communicate what's going on for the month, or the past month. Tonight, you all did a great job. Tony, it was like your first time, and it was a great, you told what's going on with Pump, or your second, but the first time you really did a report.
2 compliments?
Okay, but the one thing I did you catch it? We skipped right over the code enforcement officer. Because, you know, the purpose of this meeting is for the code, when it comes to the code enforcement officer, is for him to come and report to council so that he can respond to questions just like the chief does. He gives you a report, and if you got any questions, he's here to answer them. But since the mayor's been in power, she has eliminated that part of the meeting. And this is a great reason what's going on with the trees right now. It's a perfect example of why the code enforcement officer should be here, because we could say, hey, you know what? This is 7 feet. The top of my fingertips, this is 7 feet tall. The code, as you explained, and I also appreciate you getting involved on Facebook and trying to explain the code. And I think you did a great job of doing that, because the code reads that it needs to be 10 feet of clearance. That's 3 feet above my hand. So you can walk under a tree? It makes no sense. Now, what I think we need to do is, the reason I think the village should be responsible is because all of the trees, almost all of them, let me get my breath. It's ridiculous that I got to speed read through this, but all of the trees need to, am I done?
No,
All of the trees need to be trimmed the first 3 to 5 feet of all those branches. If you get an arborist and have them look at that, they all need to be trimmed from the ground up at least 3 to 5 feet, depending on the height of the tree. If you were to cut them the way Stacy described, you would have to hack down. There's a. Oh.
I did not.
Can I say something nice?
No.
Please?
Oh, you can always say something nice.
15 seconds, go ahead.
Can I?
Go.
Yes.
Okay, Stacy, I want to say something. I think this is relevant. It's hard for me to stay mad at you because you are probably one of the best council people we've had. And I mean that. Let me catch my breath because I can't.
Great compliment. You have to get your breath.
But the reason I say this is because of all, the council people that have come here and initiated something. Like, for example, Dave McNamara, he wanted to implement this minimal raise of the fees. Okay, that was his big initiative.
That's too long.
Okay, I'm sorry, but what I was going to say to you is that the reason I think you're one of the best is because you brought up the temporary rental issue. And it's an issue that I will agree with you, it needed to be addressed. You did it, you got it done. That's what all of you guys should be doing. Just like Stacy has done. And I think a great example of you need to think about it a little bit, because Dave McNamara, let me just finish. Dave McNamara brought
No good deed goes unpunished, folks.
let me just finish by saying
I'm gonna give you 3 minutes the next council
the
meeting.
next 3 minutes, I can do, how about 3 minutes of complaining, 3 minutes of money?
You cannot max out 3 minutes.
Rich's heart grew 3 sizes.
Rich. It's growing. It's growing.
Alright, thank you, Tony.
Move right along.
Thank you, Benedict.
I like to bring them out here, not just because I'm mad, I'm trying to help. I
Okay,
really
can I
am.
say something? If it sounds ridiculous, it probably is. If you think this is a ridiculous request, it probably is. You guys need to give us the benefit of the doubt. If you think that you need to cut down your whole tree and leave a shrub on top, that's probably not right. And instead of being angry about it, you need to call somebody and be like, is this right? And we'll be like, no, that's crazy. Why would we want to do that? This is what I'm frustrated with in general, is you guys never give us the benefit of the doubt. You think we're all sitting here being like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's maim all our trees.
Let's bring this into new business.
Okay, we'll talk about it in new business. But we're not making trees.
Okay.
There's no topiaries. No Everett Scissorhands here. Thank you.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Legislation.
Legislation.
I already packed up.
So, resolution 2025-17 is a resolution to amend and revise the Minerva Park fee schedule and to declare an emergency. This is the second reading.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Second?
What was that?
No,
I'd like to
She seconded it.
I seconded
Okay,
it.
sorry.
Discussion?
Going back to the tent canopy, rental, I'd like to line item remove that.
Yeah, I second that.
As far as a community rental, deposit, 300.
300 for fee,
For-
300 for.
Yeah, 300 for renting it and 300 as a deposit.
And it is
that what I-
fully refundable
The three, yes,
deposit.
$300 of the deposit is refundable, but 300 to rent the room is not.
Correct.
So a total of 600. 300 is reimbursement, provided the room's not trashed. And we have to unfortunately do this because,
I don't know.
Just-
Need an
We don't
explanation.
need to say that.
Yeah,
okay,
I think we're good.
You can just say, we've had multiple issues.
we have
The
multiple
discussion
issues,
is,
yeah.
it's necessary,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
unfortunately, so.
Are willing
So we have a
to,
motion and a second.
Seconded, yeah.
Yep.
I got you.
Do I do an all in favor?
any other discussion first?
Any other?
Yeah,
Or do you
that's
want to do roll call?
You can all favors.
Okay,
Aye.
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 there you go.
So we're gonna amend that. We read it the second time.
Yes.
I just did catch something though, and I just wanna make sure everyone is aware of. This is, we plan to declare it an emergency, which means there's no 30 days after we pass it the next time we read it. So, it goes into effect the day after.
So we have 2 weeks to notify anybody or, yeah.
So, I just caught that, sorry.
I,
It's not 44 days, it's 14 days, 15.
15 days, yep.
Yeah.
okay. All right,
Old business?
let's go to old business. Let's start with the pool. Anybody
I mean, I think, Jeff has sent out the RFP.
today?
It went out today. Hopefully, at least one of our people that we,
They've already responded. They're working on it.
perfect.
2 of them have already responded, I should say.
Okay.
I think it went out to about 7 people. We're looking for other places to post it. It's also on our website. So yes, it has gone out today, and that's that.
And I think we had a pretty productive work session around that with Jeff, so, I think we all want the best for the pool. We want something that's long-term, for the village, and possibly something that we're not using 3 months out of the year for some stuff, so. It will be a phased approach, and we'll see what money we can get for it, and, we're gonna do the best with what we have, so.
Agreed.
Okay.
Anybody else for the pool? Any questions?
Can we talk about maybe opening it earlier next year? That's
Yeah, I think that's a good discussion that we can start having.
Like, to start thinking about it, and
yeah.
maybe like swim lessons, I think we have enough young kids in the neighborhood that would be popular.
Which we kind of discussed at that meeting, right? So I think
Yeah.
we can further.
What are we talking about opening earlier? I was not here on
10
that.
a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about opening earlier. We don't have anything.
Because the reason we did it is no longer a problem.
Right. Like, but that's not to say, I mean, I think part of this discussion was, do we just say, we are doing these things? Like, we're gonna have swim lessons at the pool. Like, there's not, like, it's not staff's action.
No.
It's coming from council saying, you're doing this.
Well, and I think the question, problem, or concern that you guys do, I understand council's the boss, and Jesse, you can chime in and tell me if I'm out of line here, but you also have to realize that we only have one person that runs it, so you guys are gonna have to get another person, and another person, and another person.
No, that's right.
So, and then you're going, so it's not just saying, you're going to do it, you have to look at the big
I
picture.
think we understand the consequences of
Yeah.
that.
No unfunded mandates.
Right.
That's,
Right.
you tell them to do something, they don't have any resources.
Right.
Funnel money, done.
Yeah, because now you're talking 10 hours a day, now you're talking 80 hours a week for one person.
I guess my question is does that person need to be there for the 2 extra hours in the morning?
Well, somebody has to be there to run it, and, I wouldn't just want,
I think as part of it, we discuss what the staff looks like at the pool, and then how do we fund it all that goes into it, right?
okay,
But also, swim teams and stuff like that. If we have a new pool coming and people know that we have a new pool coming, it could be hey, you get it on us now, we could honor whatever rental rate we have moving into the new pool season. But if you don't wanna wait till we have a new pool, tough, you get to pay whatever our new rates are for that.
we're getting to 8 o'clock, so I know you guys already talked about this. My concern is I feel like it's completely dead at noon when I get, maybe not on the weekends, but I feel like when I get there at noon, it's dead. There's like 4 people there.
I think
Yeah,
what you're forgetting is I feel like there's two crowds.
Yes.
The young kid crowd, which is 10 to 12, and then you go home at 12 to eat and nap, and then the older people who come for after nap people. So I feel like
I didn't have that. My kids got out of bed at 9 o'clock.
Well, it's
I think that our newer crowd
And that may be the case.
would appreciate an earlier time.
Yeah.
I think they would even appreciate if it was no one under 18 time.
Well,
But
and I
I
think
don't
that
know,
all of
that's a
that,
discussion.
yes, and I think that all of that's a discussion because I will say that I was completely wrong about something that you guys are trying to do. I have thrown a fit for 4 years, trying to get them to stay open that extra 2 weeks, noon to 8, when Westerville goes back to school. And there weren't 10 people there every single day, and we are paying lifeguards, we're paying all of these.
Yeah.
And that, again, is the same thing, but Columbus wasn't in school, the adults weren't in school, but nobody was there because parents were busy getting their kids ready and nobody was there. I mean, it was definitely a waste of village money, and I fought it for years, and we did do it last year, and it was a total bust, and I will take full responsibility for that. I mean, I was there, but I was by myself, which was great.
Maintenance building, I think we talked about that, right?
I-
Are there updates for that?
We're getting a maintenance building,
Yeah. Okay.
Yay.
Road projects, we've also kind of talked.
we're getting a road
We're
project.
getting a roads project, woo, and some sidewalks.
Lakes, I think
Woo.
we've shifted some gear, and it's probably a Mike's name at this point in time.
We could talk about the fact that the surveyor that's doing the trees around the lake is when?
They came last week for a couple of days, they got rained out, and they were gonna come back Tuesday of this past week, but I don't know if I didn't see them, so I can't verify that they were here.
And then just as an FYI, somebody did mention it, you mentioned it from something. The crack ceiling has been completed as of today. So they were here, they also got rained out, and then they came back and finished. But that was completed.
I think this is old business. Circling back to the signs that we talked about
Yes.
earlier. Things like crack ceiling, we do it every year, or almost every year, right? So having signs.
We have not done crack ceiling in 5
Oh,
years
wow, okay. Well.
that I'm aware of. It's been longer than that.
Here's a really good one, because I got caught with this one this year. When they come out and survey our water lines and our storm sewers, I did not realize they were doing my neighborhood, and my toilet lid was not down.
And that-
Clean up water.
And seriously, that is something that I will say, after 5 years, I should be warning people of that, because it happens every time, and I forget every time.
So, having some signs so we can move around to different sections, just to say, hey, don't forget, put your toilet seats down.
Close your lid.
Close
Close
your
your
lid.
lid.
You realize how many people don't?
Close your lid.
Again, I think there's even if we go that other route, I still think that there might be a need for something that's very eye-catching that says, hey. put your
Well,
lights down.
Again, I'm not in disagreement. We talked about the text alerts. You still only have 200 people. We can't get people to sign up for it. Like, it is what it is.
That's what we work on.
I just wanted to say that, are we in new business now, old business? Okay, well, I'm in an old business, new business. I actually am you can just stand up and take all the credit today. The Airbnb thing, I know I was part of that, but Stacy was definitely
Pays
part of
to
this.
be mean.
And the news stories that have come out most recently that both of us were worried about, and I know she was the big push on it. I cannot be any more excited that we passed the Airbnb with these kids that are renting these and having 100 and 200 people parties. So, short-term rentals, she stayed on it and fought Brian and them and won. And that's one of the things that I think we need to stay extremely vigilant and continually checking the Airbnb sites ourselves. And because I do know that there are people that still advertise the one at the end of our street. Hers is a little different because it's college kids and yeah. So I understand that there are some variations of different short-term rentals and actual Airbnbs. I do check it every once in a while, so I'm asking others to do the same. But I do think it's something that is going to continue with these kids at least through the summer, and it's pretty scary. So I know our officers have been called to a couple of them, and one was in Westerville. So right down the road.
Yeah, and if a house seems too rowdy, see that's on Airbnb.
You're not saying there's one here.
No, there was one up the road, but
Oh.
we passed it to where it's, the officers can go shut it down. I mean, we do not allow short-term rentals like that at all. so.
Like I said, I agree, it needed to be addressed.
It did, but she was given a hard time about it, quite a bit of a hard time.
Always.
I think we had some new business.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and this is, I like to take credit for this.
Can you tell me to
Are you
say?
fishing for a
Feel
Tony
better?
Collins?
I did notice that there was two sets of zoning within, or not zoning, but code within our code, for street trees. One of them being an older one that was passed in 2017, I believe it is, 665.02, which I believe was the thing referenced on some of the what do we call these? Courtesy letters. And then we also have 1278.08, which was passed with the code rewrite.
But that's not new code. So the 2023 was the entire zoning code that we did.
Yes.
Okay? So 665 was done, actually, this code dates back to 1989 change and all that stuff. So we did not specifically address this, nobody during that time frame caught the difference. 665 was brought in sooner because we had to, after I came on board, we had to address a lot of mowing issues, and it was a common piece of legislation we had utilized in other municipalities to get that under control all the time. So, and if I may, I'm going to give a compliment now to Tony.
I'm new too.
This is an unbelievable day.
He started on it.
The camera's on, so can you turn around, face the camera, and I'm just joking, I'm totally joking.
Wait, take a bow.
He is correct in what he addressed to council as far as how the trees get trimmed and should be trimmed. And I will simply add on, as I have told past councils when we talked about tree trimming, we need to not let the individual residents trim the trees themselves. There are street trees, and they will get damaged and killed in the process of inexperienced people doing them. And so it is one of those serious things, regardless of what height you bring that. And I have no problem with 7 feet, which we have, in the code. I think it's perfectly reasonable. We need to have a professional, just like any other municipality, go around, whether it's our staff at some point, new people, or someone else, do it. But it needs to be done by not individual residents. So that's my 2 cents on that, and take it away.
And I'd like to discuss it again during the next work session.
Sure.
I think that we've learned a few things after this notice went out.
I think
And
it's
so,
one person.
I don't know, I drive through the.
Well, ultimately, we have two separate sets. of-
That is
It is up. So
hierarchy.
we can fix that. Do you want 7 or 10?
Yeah, which one do you want?
Just tell me and I'll prepare
For
legislation.
sidewalks,
Here's, my issue with that is my tree, I have a tree that is fine, and then the moment it rains, it drops 4 feet.
Well, that's not a trim issue, that's just a nature issue. It'll go back up to where it's supposed to be above.
Right, but
7
after
feet.
it rains, it'll hit you in the face, is what I'm saying.
Well, I
The
don't.
walkers will have to bear with
just
it.
hope the code enforcer is off that day.
No, I don't
The
think
thing is,
that's.
it's a courtesy thing about people, Pat, it's not, the principle of this is you're being courteous to your neighbors, so when they use the sidewalk, they're not getting hit in the face with your.
When they're
right?
walking with their phone in their hand,
Yeah.
and don't.
It will help them pay attention.
Right.
So, I just need some guidance.
Yes, please, 7 or 10.
7.
So,
I will have legislation to repeal it for next time, repeal the,
Well, it's too late for those people that.
Or will we just change that to 7?
oh, that's true, we'll change the, yes.
Tony, what code is it? It's 7?
It's a 665.
665 is 10.
Okay, so I'm sorry, you're right, so we're gonna change that one.
1278?
Yes.
We're gonna change the 665 to 7 then. That's what we're gonna do.
That code is probably original to the village.
No.
The 10 foot.
No, 665 came on board when I came on board, that was 2017. So,
let's curb the audience.
Okay, so does anybody else have any new business, old business? Because I think everybody is ready to go.
One last thing.
Go for it.
Brooke Johnny's Food Shop is gonna be here this Friday, and on the 25th of July, Shug's Barbecue will be here.
Where, that's a question I have, is can they do that, can they park at the pool? What happened to
That's
the
not a
parking?
bad idea.
They used to park at the pool, I think they would get so much more business if they just park at the pool on a Friday night when parents are trying to feed their kids.
They get a lot of people driving through here that just stop because they see them.
Okay.
They're kind of,
I think you're darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Yeah.
Because it used to be at the pool and then moved, so I didn't know what the, okay.
Everyone's kind of been expecting out front, so I kind of, With the exception of like a different than Friday, like a Saturday, then, you know.
Motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn, no, second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.